이 자동으로 안 되게 하는 이 모습.
Hey guys, SeanB. Today we have the reloaded patch presentation from Comtours. We just finished the 6-hour stream. I watched through all the Q&A to see if there was anything interesting. There wasn't anything interesting, unfortunately. So it was a super long stream. I am incredibly tired right now, but I'll try my best to give you guys a quick recap for those of you guys who couldn't watch the stream because of your time zone, but you also don't want to watch like 5 hours of nonsense anyway. So here is a quick recap for the reloaded update presentation. First, we will have a change in rift rate. Right now, you can get enchant stone and grindstone from rift rate, but they are taking the enchant part of it away and putting that in all the different elemental beasts, and they are taking all the runes that you can farm from the elemental beasts away and put it into a new dungeon. So in the future, if you want to farm like a violent enchant, you have to farm it in the dark beast, and you cannot farm it in rift rate anymore, which means getting grindstone is going to be a little bit easier because now it's more focused for grinds only in rift rate. And if you want to farm only violent enchant, of course, they're going to drop some other things in the dark beast as well. You will only need to farm the dark beast. Unfortunately, they put swift, will, rage, violent, despair in all different beasts. So it's not going to be very convenient. But most of us will be farming for violent or will, so you know where exactly to find them. All the team stat rune for the Rift Beast will be added to a new dungeon in the Kairos dungeon section. It's going to be called the Spiritual Realm. It's going to be a wind element boss, and because of that, I think Fire Unit is going to be very good for the new boss. This guy is definitely going to be amazing for that boss. I'm very sure about that because he does amazing damage, has AoE control, and Vert or Raok is going to be amazing as well. But if you are looking to prepare a 5-star for this dungeon, I think you might want to buy this guy from the Ancient Coin Shop. So the new dungeon will drop Team Stat Rune and will drop a new Seal rune set. The Seal rune set will apply potentially a debuff, the Seal debuff, onto the enemy target when you attack them, and the chance to apply is 15%. So maybe if you apply 6 rune, which means 3 set, you will have 45% chance to apply the debuff. We're not too sure about that. We have to test that when it rolls out, but you can block the enemy rune effect. So you will take away enemy violence, despair, revenge, all that good stuff away from the enemy unit. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing in guild siege or just guild content in general, because blocking enemy from violent proc in that content is incredible. Blocking enemy from violent proc in RTA is also really good, but in siege, they can violent proc like 3-4 turns. If you can block it from happening, then it's going to be wonderful. So that's going to be very interesting to see what kind of unit will be using the new Seal rune set. Also, together with that, we also have a new intangible rune. You can only equip one of this rune on each monster. It will complete the rune set that is not completed. Let's say you have 3 violent rune on your unit. You equip this intangible blank rune, aka blank, on the unit, it will complete the violent set. They also said that if you have incomplete violent and will on a unit, then you can choose whether to complete the violent or the will rune set. If you don't have any almost complete rune set on your unit, then it will not complete anything. It's just going to be a rune that provides stat for you. But interestingly, this rune cannot be re-app, which means the whales cannot spam re-app pack on this new intangible rune. Where will you get this rune? You can get it from farming any of the rune dungeon, Giants, Dragon, Necro, or the new Spiritual Realm. But it will only drop in the Abyssal stage of these dungeons. So right now we have B1 to B12. In the future, it will be B1 to B10, so it's going to be compressed down, and then there'll be 2 new level, Abyss Normal and Abyss Hard. The new Abyss stage will be harder. They will have skill that is similar to the old boss skill, but a bit stronger. For example, the Giants can revenge a single target, but in the Abyss stage, the Giant will... They will also change their skill every 6 months. They will have this seasonal change to these boss. And you cannot use duplicate monster in the new Abyss stage, just like TOA Hard. So you cannot use Trikaru or Triple Crow or Double Malaya. You have to build a new team for this one. So very excited to see what it's going to be. It will have better drop rate for runes, but they will still drop blue runes, unfortunately. So not sure how much better it will be. It will drop intangible rune with a slim chance. So not sure how hard is it gonna be as well? So I think it's probably gonna be like the ancient rune. You will get it once in a while and it can be really, really good, but you will only get it once in a while. So it's gonna take time to build up the intangible rune storage that you have. And it will roll out slowly, which means in June, you will only get Giants and Dragon. And then in July, you get Necro Abyss. And then in August, you get Steel Fortress Abyss. So it's going to take a while for them to update all the different dungeons. Next up, we also have many quality of life update. First, we will have instant rune power up. Yes, you heard that right. Our wish is coming true. You can press one button, you can spend that exact amount of mana, and boom, your rune is now plus 15. Oh! I not. Oh! They will also give you a new way to craft 6-star legendary rune by using a special crafting material that you get from farming and selling runes. So that's going to be cool as well. Farming artifact is very boring and very challenging because there are way too many things to read. But now artifact will drop as a plus 15 version. So it will roll for you after it dropped from the dungeon. So you don't have to worry about upgrading it, spending time reading it. It's going to be so much better. You will look at the artifact and instantly decide whether you're going to keep or sell so much faster. No more keeping artifact around and rolling them after very complicated stuff. So that's going to be absolutely amazing. They are also taking away some of the underused stat in the artifact. For example, stat proportionate to lost HP. I'm not sure why they are taking this away because like speed proportionate to lost HP is very good for support unit in general. They're also taking the revive percentage artifact and they are combining some stat into one stat. For example, attack defense up or co-op and counter attack damage or skill 3 and skill 4 crit damage into one stat. So they are compressing the substat availability of artifact to make it less complicated and also save you time by dropping as a plus 15 version. Also, you can reroll your artifact substat with mana instead of the material that you have to use nowadays. So in the future, having the good perfect artifact is going to be much easier than what it is right now. And with this, logically, they will also give you more slot for runes, gem, grinds, and artifacts. Personally, how I would prepare for the update is that I will stop farm runes and artifact altogether. I'll use most of my energy in farming for grinds in R5 because that content doesn't really get changed a whole lot, but I'll be saving most of my crystal and energy to farm the B12 dungeon. No, wait, the abyssal stage of the new dungeon because that's going to drop potentially more legendary runes and also the new runes. So right now, if you're farming artifact, stop doing that and maybe stop farming rune. Maybe this is the only one time in the history of 9 years playing Summoner Sword where I tell you, stop farming more runes, okay? Wait until the update hit. I will tell you guys what's the best team to farm in the abyssal stage and start farming that instead. Next, we also have quality of life upgrade for the EXP farming and evolution process of Summoner Sword, which arguably is one of the most outdated and boring part about playing Summoner Sword for early game player. So they're going to streamline that, allow you to evolve much faster, allow you to bulk feed a lot of different units so that the evolving and the EXP farming process will be much more streamlined and simplified. Next, we also have some changes in how the battle system works in Summoner Sword. First, we have the inconsistency in terms of how the unit gain the attack bar when they use a skill that allows them to gain additional turn. Like let's say Rakan, skill 2, Ciara, skill 2, Alicia, skill 3, and many other things like Raok getting additional turn when Raok kill a target. Next, they also want to balance the attack bar absorption mechanic of the game. So in the past or right now, when you use attack bar absorption skill, the unit will absorb sort of hidden attack bar. Let's say you use Oliver in the past, for example. When he absorbed a unit with only 10% attack bar, he still gained full attack bar, which doesn't make sense and is very, very strong and favoring the attack bar absorption skill. But now they're changing to how they change Oliver. You will only absorb the amount of attack bar that the enemy target has. So if they have 10%, you're only absorbing 10%. But they'll have to buff these units maybe in the future because they suddenly become weaker because they can't gain full attack bar anymore. Next, we have the spare rune change. So right now, the despair proc consistency is kind of not fair between single target and multi-hit unit. They want to make it more consistent, so the despair chance will proc on the first hit regardless of the glancing hit. So a lot of people are assuming that the despair will only proc on the first hit, which means unit that multi-hit will be worse on despair now. So let's say the Water Ryu more when he strip with, like, let's say the second or the third hit, will he despair stun? We don't know yet. Or let's say Iris, who can strip multiple hit, but can the third hit that strip, will it land the stun? We also don't know. But in the actual presentation and the translation of the stream, he said that he wants to strengthen despair rune and make it stronger across the board. So I'm not exactly sure whether it's a nerf or it's a buff. So we have to wait and see when the update get implemented into the game and we test how the despair rune work, because Compton's not very good with wording and translating into English. So there might be some mistranslation somewhere in there, because I don't think they need to nerf despair rune, because despair rune is already not utilized as much as violent. So let's see what despair rune is gonna do when they update it in the game and we can test it out properly. And lastly, no more crushing in the game. When you have a better element, you can crit more often and enemy will glance you, but I don't want to deal with crushing it anymore, okay? It's just an outdated mechanic. They are taking it out. There's going to be more update note released in August. We don't know exactly what's in it, but we know there's going to be a new dimension and there's going to be 2A for Living Armor and Frankenstein. Hopefully the Dark Living Armor with buff block is going to be absolutely amazing for Steel Fortress. Anyway, that is it for the Reloaded update. The interview part was really boring. They didn't really answer anything properly. It was just a mess, okay? I trying to stay for the whole interview section just to see if they're going to leak anything fun or exciting. But it's just like dancing around, talking a lot of nonsense, just not really answering anything. And there wasn't any real question as well. There was some good question like 4-star Devilmon, didn't really answer the question, could have just said no in 2 seconds. Or there was some question about the AI of defense, but then it's just a lot of dancing around. Just, I don't know. That part was not good, okay? And that's pretty much it for me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
My disappointment is immeasurable.